Good morning, Ada First Assembly. It is January 3rd and it's time for day 3 of the Big Read. Today we have, if you have your chart, you can follow along. If not, you're going to have to kind of follow along as I tell you where we're going to go. But in your Bible, if you want to go ahead and mark 2 spots, we're going to start in Genesis chapter 7. We're going to read Genesis chapter 7, 8, 9, and the very first part of chapter 10. This is the story of the flood and Noah's family. And at the end of the story, we're going to get a lot more pieces of just genealogy. And so we're going to see where in Chronicles, now remember, First Chronicles is a book of history that the Jewish nation still has today. But in that book of history, it keeps those genealogies going. And so we're going to jump. Chapter 10 is going to be an odd one because we're going to go back and forth from Genesis chapter 10 to First Chronicles chapter 1, back and forth and back and forth. So go ahead and mark both of those spots in your Bible, chapter 10, and go ahead and mark First Chronicles chapter 1. Pause the video for a second and take care of that. And then come back when you've got that ready, and you'll be set and ready to read today's readings. Also, don't forget, if you've just jumped back in after marking your Bible, don't forget to grab your notebook so that you're ready to take notes or write down any questions that you have. All of this will be some of the things that we're going to be discussing this Sunday evening, January 5th at Ada First Assembly. Make sure that you join us Sunday evening. Are you ready to read? Here we go. Genesis chapter 7. The flood. Then the Lord said to Noah, "Enter the ark, you and all your household, for you alone I have seen to be righteous before me in this time. You shall take with you of every clean animal by sevens, a male and his female, and of the animals that are not clean, 2, a male and his female. Also of the birds of the sky by sevens, male and female, to keep offspring alive on the face of all the earth. For after 7 more days I will send rain on the earth 40 days and 40 nights, and I will blot out from the face of the land every living thing that I have made." Noah did according to all that the Lord had commanded him. Now Noah was 600 years old when the flood of water came upon the earth. Then Noah and his sons and his wife and his sons' wives with him entered the ark because of the water of the flood. Of clean animals and animals that are not clean, and birds and everything that creeps on the ground, there went into the ark to Noah by 2s, male and female, as God had commanded Noah. It came about after the 7 days that the water of the flood came upon the earth. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, on the 17th day of the month, on the same day, all the fountains of the great deep burst open, and the floodgates of the sky were opened. The rain fell upon the earth for 40 days and 40 nights. On the very same day, Noah and Shem and Ham and Japheth, the sons of Noah, and Noah's wife and the 3 wives of his sons with them, entered the ark. They and every beast after its kind, and all the cattle after their kind, and every creeping thing that creeps on the earth after its kind, and every bird after its kind, all sorts of birds. So they went into the ark to Noah by 2s of all the flesh, in which was the breath of life. Those that entered, male and female of all flesh, entered as God had commanded him. And the Lord closed the door behind him. Then the flood came upon the earth for 40 days, and the water increased and lifted up the ark so that it rose above the earth. The water prevailed and increased greatly upon the earth, and the ark floated on the surface of the water. The water prevailed more and more upon the earth, so that all the high mountains everywhere under the heavens were covered. The water prevailed 15 cubits higher, and the mountains were covered. All flesh that moved on the earth perished. Birds and cattle and beasts and every swarming thing that swarms upon the earth, and all mankind, of all that was on the dry land, all in whose nostril was the breath of the Spirit of life, died. Thus he blotted out every living thing that was upon the face of the land, from man to animals to creeping things and to birds of the sky, and they were blotted out from the earth, and only Noah was left, together with those that were with him in the ark. The water prevailed upon the earth 150 days. Chapter 8. But God remembered Noah and all the beasts and all the cattle that were with him in the ark. And God caused a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters subsided. Also the fountains of the deep and the floodgates of the sky were closed, and the rain from the sky was restrained, and the water receded steadily from the earth. And at the end of 150 days, the water decreased. In the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, the ark rested upon the mountains of Ararat. The water decreased steadily until the 10th month. In the 10th month, on the 1st day of the month, the tops of the mountains became visible. Then it came about at the end of 40 days that Noah opened the window of the ark which he had made, and he sent out a raven, and it flew here and there until the water was dried up from the earth. Then he sent out a dove from him to see if the water was abated from the face of the land. But the dove found no resting place for the sole of her foot. So she returned to him into the ark, for the water was on the surface of all the earth. Then he put out his hand and took her and brought her into the ark to himself. So he waited yet another 7 days. And again he sent out the dove from the ark. The dove came to him toward the evening, and behold, in her beak was a freshly picked olive leaf. So Noah knew that the water was abated from the earth. Then he waited yet another 7 days and sent out the dove, but she did not return to him again. Now it came about in the 601st year, in the 1st month, on the 1st day of the month, the water was dried up from the earth. Then Noah removed the covering of the ark and looked, and behold, the surface of the ground was dried up. In the 2nd month, on the 27th day of the month, the earth was dry. Then God spoke to Noah, saying, Go out of the ark, you and your wife and your sons wives with you. Bring out with you every living thing of all flesh that is with you, birds and animals, and every creeping thing that creeps on the earth, that they may breed abundantly on the earth, and be fruitful and multiply on the earth. So Noah went out, and his sons and his wives and his sons' wives with him. Every beast, every creeping thing, and every bird, everything that moves of the earth went out by their families from the ark. Then Noah built an altar to the Lord, and took of every clean animal and of every clean bird, and offered burnt offerings on the altar. The Lord smelled the soothing aroma, and the Lord said to himself, I will never again curse the ground on the account of man, for the intent of man's heart is evil from his youth, and I will never again destroy every living thing as I have done. While the earth remains, seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease. Chapter 9. And God blessed Noah and his sons, and said to them, Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth. The fear of you and the terror of you will be on every beast of the earth, and on every bird of the sky, with everything that creeps on the ground, and all the flesh of the sea into your hand they are given. Every moving thing that is alive shall be food for you. I give it to you as I gave the green plant. Only you shall not eat flesh with its life, that is, its blood. Surely I will require your lifeblood from every beast, I will require it, and from every man's brother, I will require the life of man. Whoever sheds man's blood, by man his blood shall be shed, for in the image of God he made man. As for you, be fruitful and multiply, populate the earth abundantly and multiply in it. Then God spoke to Noah and to his sons with him, saying, Now behold, I myself do establish my covenant with you and with your descendants after you, and with every living creature that is with you, the birds, the cattle, and every beast of the earth with you, of all that comes out of the ark. Even every beast of the earth I establish my covenant with you, and all flesh shall never again be cut off by the water of the flood, neither shall there again be a flood to destroy the earth. God said, This is the sign of the covenant which I am making between me and you and every living creature that is with you for all successive generations. I set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be for a sign of a covenant between me and the earth. It shall come about when I bring a cloud over the earth, that the bow will be seen in the cloud. And I will remember my covenant which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh, and never again shall the water become a flood to destroy all flesh. When the bow is in the cloud, I will look upon it to remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh that is on the earth. And God said to Noah, this is the sign of the covenant which I have established between me and all flesh that is on the earth. Now the sons of Noah who came out of the ark were Shem and Ham and Japheth, and Ham was the father of Canaan. These were the sons of Noah, and from these the whole earth was populated. Then Noah began farming and planted a vineyard. He drank of the wine and became drunk and uncovered himself inside his tent. Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his two brothers outside. But Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it upon both their shoulders and walked backward and covered the nakedness of their father. And their faces were turned away so that they did not see their father's nakedness. Then Noah awoke from his wine and knew what his youngest son had done to him. So he said, cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants he shall be to his brothers. He also said, blessed be the Lord, the God of Shem, and let Canaan be his servant. May God enlarge Japheth, and let him dwell in the tents of Shem, and let Canaan be his servant. Noah lived 350 years after the flood, so all the days of Noah were 950 years, and he died. Chapter 10, verses 1 through 5. Now these are the records of the generations of Shem, Ham, and Japheth, the sons of Noah. And sons were born to them after the flood. The sons of Japheth were Gomer and Magog and Madai and Javan and Tubal and Meshach and Tiras. The sons of Gomer were Ashkenaz and Riphtah and Togarmah. The sons of Javan were Elishash and Tarshish, Kittim and Dodanium. From these, the coastlands of the nations were separated into their lands, every one according to his language, according to their families, into their nations. Now let's turn to 1 Chronicles chapter 1 again. And bear with me because we've got some great names here, but I'm going to not pronounce all of them correctly. 1 Chronicles chapter 1, and we are starting with verses 5 through 7. The sons of Japheth were Gomer, Magog, Madal, Javan, Tubal, Meshach, and Tiras. The sons of Gomer were Ashkenaz, Riphtah, and Togarmah. The sons of Javan were Elishash, Tarshish, Kittim, and Dodanium. Now go back to Genesis chapter 10, and we will pick this up at verse number 6 through 20. The sons of Ham were Cush and Mizraim and Put and Canaan. The sons of Cush were Seba and Havilah and Sabta and Ramah and Sabactia. The sons of Ramah were Sheba and Dedan. Now Cush became the father of Nimrod. He became a mighty man on the earth. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord. Therefore it is said, like Nimrod, a mighty hunter before the Lord. The beginning of his kingdom was Babel and Erech and Akkad and Calneh in the land of Shinar. From that land he went forth into Assyria and built Nineveh and Rehoboth Ir and Calah, and Rezin between Nineveh and Calah. That is the great city. Mizraim became the father of Ludium and Anamim and Lehabium and Naphtuim and Parthusim and Chalsumium, from which came the Philistines and Caphtorium. Canaan became the father of Sidon, his firstborn, and Heth, and the Jebusites, and the Amorite, and the Girgasite, and the Hivite, and the Archite, and the Sinite, and the Arvadite, and the Zimmerite, and the Hamorite, and afterward the families of the Canaanites were spread abroad. The territory of the Canaanite extended from Sidon as you go toward Gerar, as far as Gaza, as you go toward Sodom and Gomorrah, and Admah and Zeboiim, as far as Lasha. These are the sons of Ham according to their families, according to their languages, by their lands, by their nations. Now we're going back to 1 Chronicles, and we're going to read verses 6 through 20. Right? Let me check it again. Yes, verses 6 through 20. The sons of Gomer were Ashkenaz, Diphthah, and Togarmah. The sons of Javan were Elishias, Tarshish, Kittim, and Rodinium. The sons of Ham were Cush, Mizraim, Put, and Canaan. The sons of Cush were Seba, Havilah, Sabata, Ramah, and Sabactia. And the sons of Ramah were Sheba and Dedan. Cush became the father of Nimrod. He began to be a mighty one in the earth. Verse 11. Mizraim became the father of the people of Lud, Anan, Leba, Naphtuah, Pathras, Kasla, from which the Philistines came, and Caphtor. Canaan became the father of Sidon, his firstborn, Heth, and the Jebusites, the Amorites, the Girgashites, the Hivites, the Archites, the Sinites, the Arvadites, the Zemarites, and the Hamathites. The sons of Shem were Elam, Asher, Arpachshad, Lud, Aram, Uz, Hol, Gether, and Meshech. Arpachshad became the father of Shelah, and Shelah became the father of Eber. Two sons were born to Eber. The name of the one was Peleg, for in his day the earth was divided, and his brother's name was Joktan. Joktan became the father of Almodad, Shelev, Azarmaveth, and Jobab. All these were the sons of Joktan. Don't you love these names? I wish I could pronounce them correctly. Now we're jumping back to Genesis chapter 10. Genesis chapter 10, and we are now on verses Well, if you're following along, you can see that I've already gotten off on this. So we're Genesis 10, verse 21. I'm a little off on 1 Chronicles. Sorry about that. I'll get this better as we go. Genesis chapter 10, verse 21. Let's pick the story up there. Also to Shem, the father of all the children of Eber, and the older brother of Japheth, children were born. The sons of Shem were Elam, and Asher, and Arpachshad, and Lud, and Aram. The sons of Aram were Uz, and Hol, and Gether, and Mash. Arpachshad became the father of Selah, and Selah became the father of Eber. Two sons were born to Eber. The name of the one was Peleg, for in his days the earth was divided, and his brother's name was Joktham. Joktham became the father of Almodad, and Sheleph, and Azmaveth, and Jerah, and Adoram, and Uzal, and Diklah, and Obal, and Abimiel, and Sheba, and Ophir, and Havilah, and Jobab. All these were the sons of Joktan. Now we're back together with 1 Chronicles. Chapter 10, verse 30. Now their settlement extended from Mesha as you go toward Sephir, the hill country of the east. And then we need to go back to 1 Chronicles, and we're going to start at verse 17, and we're going to read from 17 to 23. 1 Chronicles chapter 1, verse 17. The sons of Shem were Elam, Asher, Arpachshad, Lud, Aram, Uz, Hol, Gether, and Meshach. Arpachshad became the father of Shelah, and Shelah became the father of Eber. Two sons were born to Eber. The name of the one was Peleg, for in his days the earth was divided, and his brother's name was Joktan. Joktan became the father of Almodad, Cephalah, Hazarmaveth, Jerah, Hadaram, Uzal, Diklah, Ebal, Abimiel, Sheba, Ophir, Havilah, and Jobab. All these were the sons of Joktan. And And now we go back and finish chapter 10, verse 31. Genesis 10:31. These are the sons of Shem according to their families, according to their languages, by their lands, according to their nations. These are the families of the sons of Noah according to their genealogies, by their nations, and out of these nations were separated on the earth after the flood. That's January 3. I hope you have a blessed day. Join me on Sunday for our debrief of this week's reading. God bless you.